All right, good morning. So at the jail, you all can hear me? If you can hear me, do the thumbs up again. All right. All right, I'm Judge Pitts. I'm going to give you some information and then I'll tell you why you're here. This is your first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give you your next court date. But you do have certain other rights. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one may be appointed to represent you. Each of you have already been appointed to Attorney Cuthbert, who will be representing you for today. You also have the right to a trial. At your trial, you have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the city might bring to testify against you. You have the right to bring your own witnesses, and you have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the absolute right to remain silent and to know that your silence will not be held against you. Again, you are here for a first appearance, which means you're here for me to tell you your charges, set your bond, and give you your next court date. You also have the right to what's called a probable cause or preliminary hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims or witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard. The court will determine whether a crime was committed and whether it's more likely than not that you are the person who committed the crime. If the court finds that there is probable cause, then the case moves to the next step. If there is no probable cause, then the charges are dismissed. That hearing does not take place today. That would be a separate scheduled hearing. All right, the first person is going to be Mr. Barker. If you'll come up to the window, Mr. Barker. Sir, you can have a seat. One moment. Mr. Barker, you have a charge of probation violation where you failed to follow through with your probation from December 27th, 2017 for theft by shoplifting. Attorney Cuthbert?
Yes, Your Honor. I have spoken with Mr. Barker, and Mr. Barker, Judge Oliver said in her order that he would be able to purge himself from this one if he was able to pay the total due that's shown on the back of the warrant. I've spoken with him. Oh, he's going to be admitted to the probation violation. That's number one. But then number two, he does not have the ability to pay that entire amount for the purge. And that was why we were hoping, he's on there now. We would have the opportunity to talk to a probation officer about him possibly having his probation, him partially paying the purge amount and reinstate it. But he indicates to me that he has that he does have a stable job, stable housing, and that he has been working on his mental health issues. So that's together now. So he would be able to be successful if he was reinstated on probation. But I haven't had the opportunity to speak to the PO, and I see that he's online now.
Okay, so do you want this reset for a Monday or Wednesday?
If it's going to be reset, then it would be Monday because the earlier is possible. In the meantime, my client will try to see if he can come up the purge amount this weekend, but he just doesn't know if he would be able to.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Barker, this case will be reset for Monday, April 24th for your probation revocation hearing, unless other agreement has been made. All right. Any questions? Sir, Mr. Barker, do you have any questions? Hey, I can't hear him. He can hear us, but we can't. Sir, the phone doesn't help. They can hear us, but we can't hear them. One moment, Mr. Barker.
Did he speak, Judge? Did he speak? Well, I'm trying to make sure.
He was speaking, but I can't hear him. I asked him if he had questions and he started talking. Mr. Barker, can you say something for us? Okay, see, we can't hear him. Mr. Barker, I guess let me just do this. The case is going to be reset for Monday in order for your attorney to speak with the probation officer to see if they can come up with an agreement. If you understand that, if you'll just give me a thumbs up. Okay, if you have questions, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for no questions. You got questions. The questions that you may have are probably need to be addressed by your attorney, which I couldn't answer. So it probably would be best for you to speak with your attorney after court. Is that okay with you, Mr. Barker? If it's okay with you, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so apparently he wants to ask you something now.
Yeah.
Can I just pay the full amount?
Oh, I can hear you now. Go ahead, Mr. Barker.
Can I just pay the full amount? I have the ability to pay the full amount.
Whatever is on your probation order, whatever discussion you have with your attorney is what you would need to pay.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Barker.
Could I address Mr. Goldston? Mr. Goldston, could you reach out to me after court concerning this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
morning, Mr. Goldston.
Good morning,
right.
everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Barker. If you'll step back, and I believe, I'm sorry, I'm not sure who we have here because I was told we only had 3. So this is Mr. Serginio. Are you Mr. Serginio? Okay, Mr. Serginio, you also have a charge of theft by shoplifting where you failed to appear in court. This is from May 4th of 2020, where you failed to appear in court on December 7th of 2020. Your bond on each charge is $1,000. You are appointed to be represented by Attorney Cuthbert. I understand that she was not able to speak with you today. So your case is also, Attorney Cuthbert, did you want to say anything before I continue? I'm sorry.
Nothing. I just want to inform you, sir, that what I would do is reach out to you after court so we can discuss your case. So once we get off the platform and they take you back, I will be calling you so I can talk to you by telephone about your case. And the judge, I think, is getting ready to tell you when it will be rescheduled to.
That's correct. So Mr. Serginio, you have your bond amount, $1,000 on each charge. So if you're not able to post bond, you'll be brought back on Monday for your hearing, okay? And Attorney Cuthbert just said that she'll speak with you after court. Do you have any questions? You have to speak up, sir.
No.
Okay, all right, thank you. And if you all will go to the door, they'll take you back and I'll have one other person that's coming out. Thank you, sir. Sirs. The last person's female.
It's probably Miss Lamar.
Yes, I was just saying female, that's why she wasn't out.
They gonna take them out first and then she'll be up.
Okay, no problem. Good morning, Ms. Lamar. I'm Judge Pitts. I'm going to give you some information, then I'll tell you why you're here, okay? All right, this is your first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give you your next court date. You do have the right to an attorney, and you have already been assigned to be represented by Attorney Cuthbert. You do have the right to a trial. At that trial, you have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the city might bring to testify against you. You'd have the right to bring your own witnesses, and you'd have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the absolute right to remain silent and to know that your silence will not be held against you. Today, again, you're here for a first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give you your next court date. But you do also have the right to a probable cause or preliminary hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims or witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard, and the court at that time will determine whether it's a crime was committed and whether it's more likely than not that you are the person who committed the crime. If the court finds that there is probable cause, then the case moves to the next step. If there is no probable cause, then the charges are dismissed. That hearing does not take place today. That hearing would have to be set for a different day. Do you understand? All right, ma'am, you're here for a charge of obstruction. Your bond amount is $1,000. I'll hear from Attorney Cuthbert first.
Okay. Ms. Lamar, you understand that today is not going to be a day where you're going to be able to actually complete this case. So the issue is going to be whether or not Judge Pitts is going to be willing to give you a bond on this new charge. Judge Pitts, Ms. Lamar, Judge Rucker had given her a bond, and unfortunately, she and the one of the sheriffs had she says a verbal exchange of word, and she got this new charge. She has 6 minor children who are being kept by her aunt, and she really needs to get out so that she can go home and proceed to take care of them. She does have a job. She understands that even though she disagreed with Way, she thought the deputy was disrespecting her, that was not the way to handle it. She will not misbehave this time. If you will please give her a bond. And I don't know if you've taken a look at the one that Judge Rucker had set original for her other charges, and we would just ask you to be lenient with her and give her a new bond and let her go home.
Well, I have given her a bond on this new charge. It's $1,000. It's $1,000. Yes.
I'm sorry. It's what?
1,000.
Okay. Well, then
And
I don't think she has the ability to make it then. So that was why she wanted to then ask if you would consider doing a signature or doing an additional stuff to Judge Rucker's in terms of the stay away, be more specific, be as detailed as you want to be in it.
Well, the issue is, I mean, I understand that she's not able to post the bond, but she was given an opportunity to have, I think, one of her 2 charges dismissed.
Yes.
From before, and given the stay away. I believe let me see where her bond was set on that other one. And there was some other additional things on there about cooperating with the police department. So I have concern that given what she was offered, that she turned around, I believe it was the same day or the next day, and had an issue with law enforcement.
It was the same day, Your Honor, and that's what it is. She's indicating that, as she would say, her private matters was being discussed out in the public, and that's where the exchange of words occurred. In terms of any physical things, she's denying that part of it, but yeah, she's admitting that she should have held her tongue and not even said anything, period. And otherwise, she would be at home right now. So she understands that.
Let's see, her bond on the other one, I believe, was probably set at $1,000 on each of the charges.
Yes.
Let me see what that stay away
It
said.
was.
Did you find it, Attorney Cuthbert? Miss,
I didn't see what the bond is. I was just looking at the stay away, I mean, at the
Miss-
order.
Miss
Where it
Benton
says
just,
that she was to stay away for on the charge of impersonating another dead document obstruction and be corporate with East Point Police Department and Solicitor's Office. And that was issued on April the 19th, as you said,
Right.
which would have been 2 days ago.
right. At this time, I am not willing to do anything other than the $1,000 bond. I mean, I'll reduce it to 500 at best. But the issue is she still has to postpone on the other two. She's already violated the stay away by not cooperating with the officers. So whether that's going to be, whether that order is going to be followed through on is going to be up to your conversation with the solicitor's office, given that she's got a new charge in less than 48 hours.
Oh, may I say something?
One moment, Ms. Lamar. Attorney Cuthbert, I can reset it for Monday if you want to talk with the solicitor's office.
I doubt that I would be able to talk to him because he's kind of very strict about when he will and will not discuss cases with you. And the
Okay.
earliest available would be, as you said, if you put it on Monday, I could talk to him on Monday, perhaps if he's going to be on the link. Otherwise, it would be Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Ms. Cuthbert, he usually don't be on Monday. That's what.
I know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he'll speak with you privately so that you can have a conversation with your client prior to Monday. That's what I was suggesting.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying normally that's a no.
Okay, no problem. I think your client had something she wanted to add.
Go ahead on, Ms. Lamar.
Saying that I wasn't even released from the jail before they gave me a obstruction charge, so I'm asking for a signature bond because me and the sheriff, we got into an argument about her.
Don't go into the details, ma'am, because you're still facing those charges. The judge understand, her thing of is tell her why, given that short length of time, from your walking, I assume, from the courtroom to the holding cell, from the holding cell to the back, from the courtroom back to your holding cell, that you incurred that new charge.
I was just with me and the sheriff got into an argument. That way, I did not know she was gonna put a obstruction charge on me due to us having an argument, and I'm asking for a signature bond because I've been gone altogether 2 weeks from my kid, and I'm asking that I please get a signature bond so I can please go home because I'm pregnant and I'm trying to go home to my kid.
Well, the concern that I have is that on April 19th, you were given an opportunity to resolve the case that you had before you can even walk out of the jail, which I understand another issue incurred that involved law enforcement, which is one of the charges that you previously had that was going to be dismissed with your cooperation. So my concern is the fact that not only did you have a new charge, it automatically violated the order that you had just been given, which is cooperation, and the same charge, which is the obstruction. So right now, unfortunately, the best I would offer, Attorney Cuthbert, is to reduce the fine to 500. But that I'm not willing to do a signature bond at this time. Now, that could change on Monday. I don't know.
Okay.
You know that, and I know it may be difficult for you to speak with the solicitor between now and then, but we'll see what happens come Monday.
Okay.
I can put it on for Monday.
Okay, yes, please. Thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry, are you asking Attorney Cuthbert to see if she can have a conversation with you before Monday? Because if that's the case, we might as well just reset her to Wednesday, because I know he's doing 50 work stuff today.
Okay,
Because if we bring her back out Monday with no announcements,
it's going to be the same.
same.
Well, we can still bring her out on Monday Well, or Attorney Cuthbert, if you want, you can readdress the issue of bond on Monday with or without her presence. That would be fine.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna be the judge doing Monday? So
Yes,
you'll be
ma'am.
familiar with, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, but then, yeah, because as I'm glad the clerk spoke up because I didn't know what he was doing today, but I know that as she had said, there's no way I'm gonna reach him.
So, Miss Lamar, let me just make sure you understand. Unfortunately, I'm not willing to do a signature bond today. The attorney may or may not have an opportunity to speak with the solicitor's office before Monday. Whether or not she does, even if you are not brought back out on Monday, Attorney Cuthbert is going to address the issue of bond to see if there can be some change. Instead of your bond on this new charge being $1,000, I have reduced it to 500. You may or may not be able to make that, but if you're still here, Attorney Cuthbert will ask for reconsideration of the bond amount on Monday. Okay? Miss Lamar,
Ma'am.
do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. All right. Attorney Cuthbert, anything further?
That's it, Joanna.
So, Miss Benton, just so we know, her bond is going to be 500 instead of the 1,000.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Well, then I don't believe we have any other cases on for this morning. So we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Joanna.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You're
See you
welcome.
all on Monday.
Yeah,
Yes,
Monday.
See
ma'am.
y'all. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Don't forget
Bye-bye.
to reach out, Mr. Ghostin.
Who you want me to call?
No, me.
You got my number, Miss Cook.